Whew, good evening, everybody. How's it going? Oh, it is incredibly hot. Okay, let's get this all set up. I think we should be ready to do a bit of driving. Hope I don't evaporate in the meantime as well. Where are we at? Brand's Hatch indeed. Right. Expect me to behave like a drunk old man tonight. Because I am melting. Oh, how's everyone doing tonight, though? Hopefully, we're all doing well. That's not right. Pedals are connected, aren't they? Technical difficulties. Yes, they are. That's so good. Okay. So, why is it doing that? Guessing it's going by the order these controllers were initialized in. I hate when it does this, man. Okay. Now I have to set up all my buttons on the button box and the pedals. Okay, cool. That should be fine. Yeah, I don't get it. Whenever I was on the base launcher, it was pretty much fine all the time. But Content Manager, I get in recent times they rejigged the way they handle the controller, so jumping between the two would break, which that's fine, it's whatever. But even just, like, basically exclusively using Content Manager now to start the game, that's better. It still seems to just, like, forget sometimes and get the input devices the wrong way around. It's like it had swapped the button box and the pedals, but I didn't do anything different as to how I've been always turning them on. Because I have, basically the wheel and pedals are all connected. The wheel pedals and button box are all connected through a, sort of like USB extension hub. That's like plugged into a socket. But this is handy because I can turn them on and off manually. Which means I can pretty much leave them plugged in. I don't have to keep unplugging, replugging them. I just leave them plugged in and sort of turn the power on and off to the socket, or to the socket system when I need. Oh, nearly thought we were doing the GP track. So I just go through and press the buttons in the same order every time. I guess this time it didn't. Didn't like that. Check. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the text at the top. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what it's like around other places, but it is incredibly hot. Apparently it's going to cool down tomorrow, which should be nice, but... oh. Gotta make it through these 2 races tonight in this heat. Whether I like it or not. Was tempted to do last night's race with the Porsches at Bicamiecki, but eventually opted against it because, again, it was just so hot yesterday. But, you know, this is my own stuff, so the very least I can do is show up, you know. One interesting thing I learned about, speaking of, that we're back at Brands Hatch actually the other week, was, so, if you didn't know, Brands Hatch actually used to have a rallycross circuit. Used to because it doesn't exist anymore. They don't use it. However, there are still some remnants of the track still around. I think this is about as good as we're going to get, really. And this, we'll finish this lap, though. Over that. Lap isn't very complicated, so. Oh, just let the car go and crash into a wall somewhere. Right, yeah, so the rallycross track actually used to sort of come down here, down this hill. And you would sort of, this road here was wider. It would come down from, before you go into Paddock Hill, you go downhill, across here, and then across, and then up around Druid, or, yeah, Druid's here. And then you come across here, you can see all these trucks parked. And then there's different variants. I think there's one that uses the final corner and goes back to the straight. There's some that I think use... yeah. There's some that, like, go along here and go back. And there's another one that comes down here into a chicane, which takes you up and across out of pit lane to the start line. Which would have been basically where this pit end line is. Rinse, repeat. However, as you can tell by the start here, where the turn would have eventually flaked off for the rallycross, they went and put a tunnel there for obviously pedestrians. So, you know, when you're at the track, and I guess also it's, given that there's a curb, and I'm guessing for service vehicles as well. Yeah, pedestrians keep on the path left, yeah. So, like, service vehicles and whatnot, they could get underneath and to here easier. Yeah, they've kept a lot of the roads in, so, like, these roads here, I guess just for, like, easier access to places. And, like, this little bit has sort of been redone a bit. There's my car on the grass there. And, like, this bit here as well is just kind of parking now. There are trucks and, like, tents here, but I think on, like, normal race weekends, there's just, like, actual, like, people just parked here. When I went here to watch the touring cars, actually, I think this, like, whole hillside here might have just been, like, people in cars. I can't remember exactly. I also don't know if there's houses this close to the track. There might be. Oh, yeah, looking at that, that would imply there is. Didn't really notice. But yeah, it's a little random bit of trivia. It's a shame though. I think I closed that down a bit too early. Still got a couple of minutes. Shucks. But yeah, no. A little interesting bit of trivia. It's kind of a shame that they don't do it anymore, but I could imagine it's probably a bit of a pain in the ass and quite expensive to operate and maintain. Having to switch the track between the two configurations. I mean, getting the configurations set up probably wouldn't be hard, but the damage that would do to like certain parts of the track properly from like throwing dirt everywhere and whatnot, and like tearing up the infield and stuff like that probably wouldn't be ideal, to say the least. And maybe like having to like replace the dirt that's there and whatnot every now and then would be pretty awkward. Okay, let's see. I think the server should be up by now. Not quite. Shucks. I did jump out too early. Hello, Tim. How's it going? Hopefully it's not too hot wherever you may be. Okay. Is the server up now? It is. Haha. Yeah, other than being really hot, it's going alright, actually. Just hope that the weather isn't lying about tomorrow being much cooler. I really do of that. I didn't check to see how much fuel we're using. We dialed this back a little bit though. Get some laps in. Oh, we're definitely not going to need the base 30 because, well, it's a short lap and it's only a 15-minute race. I do kind of hope that my hijinks last week is maybe gonna encourage some people in the next race to go for a different strategy, but we'll see for that one. Oh, the understeer. Okay. I see the eco on the grid. Oh, good. Gonna lose. Hell yeah. Probably would lose anyway still, but we'll see. What track is this? It's Brands Hatch, but it's the Indy layout, which is the shorter layout. There is a Grand Prix circuit, which sort of stretches out into the woods back there, and sort of joins up on either end of that sort of final corner. But we are just doing the shorter layout. As this series is loosely based on a feeder series for the British Touring Car Championship, but they do use this exact car and run it on same tracks that BTCC would be running on. Oh, I've overshot that. Okay. It's a pretty cool track, though. The GP circuit, at least, is probably one of my favorite tracks. Especially out of what's in Assetto Corsa. That's fine. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Ooh. I mean, a few years ago, I also didn't know a lot, but I'd actually say it was getting into sim racing. I knew a bit about motorsports because I'd like watched like some Formula 1 and stuff growing up as a kid, kind of on and off, and like I knew about some other racing things like rally and touring cars and stuff like that, and I knew about cars. And that was when my friends at the time were like, "Hey, you should buy a Assetto Corsa, so you could join with us." At the time, they were doing like, sort of like the mountain pass stuff, like driving up and down, like in like street cars and whatnot. And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll give it a whirl." Because I had the wheel already, actually, that I still have now, good old Logitech. But at the time, I was mostly using it to play arcade games. On it, and yeah, I was rubbish. Complete rubbish. But I eventually started exploring more of the like race cars and race circuits, and I was like, you know what, this stuff is pretty cool. And I figured that's probably the best place to learn how to get better, rather than trying to drive some overpowered street car on some narrow roads. And then, well, never really looked back. Kind of went all in on the circuit stuff. Do the occasional bit of rally here and there, but don't really have the time to work it in at the moment. So I SimRacing ACC a month ago. Ah, nice. Ooh. To learn a bit about the Nürburgring. Oh yeah, didn't they? I haven't really played ACC much, to be honest. But they got the full Nürburgring, didn't they? I think. In a recent-ish update. I say recent-ish, but I think it's probably a while ago now. Yeah, the 24-hour track, yeah. Full shebang. Yeah, it's a very daunting track to learn. Even when you do learn it, it's still a very daunting track to race on, to be honest. I'm just quickly throwing out some links. Cool. Take a bunch of this out. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't really a track I race on a lot, to be honest. I get the appeal for most people, but it's never really quite... never really quite grabbed me in the same way. But I'd say I've definitely always been... As I've sort of gotten deeper into sim racing and like real racing and whatnot, definitely more of a sort of racing guy than a hot lapping guy. You know, I like to be close to the other cars and in close fights and whatnot. That's right. I think it's the most fun. But in the Nürburgring, on the sort of full, like, Nordschleife track, you tend to spread out quite a lot, even with, like, a decent amount of cars. So I do remember... I do remember doing a race there a while ago, and it didn't go terribly well. This was like a couple of years back in a race room, actually. I was involved in a series where we were doing... Oh. See, pretty much, yeah, these, like, GT4 cars against the TCRs. And, remember, I actually had a minute gap to the car in front and behind of me. Which I don't think I've ever seen before. Phil's gonna let me go. Play F1 sometimes. Fair enough, yeah. But this is only qualifying at the moment. So he thinks I'm faster, which might be true. So he just let me through. Because at the moment we're just trying to get lap times in, and I was right on him. Which is nice. He didn't have to do that. He could have just held me up the whole way. Oh, that's a bit wide. This isn't too bad, though. Still have too much fuel in. Yeah, the race itself will start in about a minute 40. It's about 2 minutes, I think. So then we've got to wait for people to finish their laps. This race is nice and short, but we got a much longer race after this one. Oh, it's much better. Yeah, 4 temps up already. Just gotta not mess it up. Oh, like that. Oh, we're still good. 6 temps, 6.5. Whew. Quite a lot. 47 though. Yeah, 6. Oh, yeah. Too much sliding. Probably push the brake bias back a little bit. We are running fixed setup here, so I can't really change much about the car. Basically, all I can really change is the amount of fuel I put in, the traction control anti-lock brakes, because I can change those from the car, and the brake bias, so whether or not the brakes are more forward or backwards. I pushed them a little bit more backwards to try and get the car to turn a bit better. But I am thinking that's a little too much, maybe. We're using hardly any fuel, though, so I can get a good chunk of that. It's about 67, I think. I can't remember what the default was. Hey, I've ended up at the back. Not quite fully at the back. There's someone else behind me, basically. So I guess we gotta try and race our way forward. I think we could do that. Maybe. Yesterday, Donny got bonked at Spa hairpin on lap 1, then cut across and got T-boned by a guy and wanted to pit. So got a little to live up to. Crazy. The hell is that little frown you've got next to your username? I don't actually know what that is. I don't know if anyone else sees that. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. I got spooked there. Nearly replicated Kimmy. But it must be the most important. Person to avoid. It should be red like a triangle. See if I hover over it, what does it say? It doesn't say anything. Thanks, YouTube. Right, I should probably actually focus on the race because I am now literally last. Oh, okay. I didn't touch him. Mind punt. Took him out with my brain. Yeah, the balance of the car isn't the most friendly around here. It is wanting to try and get away from you. Because I'm number one, that's all that matters. Fair enough. Oh, okay. We're fine now. I didn't lose much from that. I gotta pick up speed though. He's front for a rapid quick. Starting to feel like I maybe pushed the brake bias a bit too much the other way. But we'll make it do, I guess. I can't change it in the car, so just gotta live with it. Right, this is the next one, so. I don't know if you heard that. Something really loud just went past my window. Big B, yeah. Didn't know Bs came with V8s lodged in them. At least it sounded like a V8, I think. Damn, Mateo is checked out. He is gone. New times. These had to evolve. All this humidity in the air currently with this heat. Need more power to stay in the air. Need these guys to start fighting so I can close up more. I don't quite... It seems like I'm roughly matching them. I don't seem to have the speed to catch them. Which is a problem. A bit quicker that time around, though. Also give it up on the environment. It's Chi-Chi, might as well enjoy the V8. Well, the V8's gone now. Sped down my road and buggered off. It is a shame because like some of these cars have pretty big displacements. You look at them and they're surprisingly affordable. At least here they are. You know, you can get some cars with pretty big engines that are pretty affordable. And then you go and look at like the actual running costs, the tax, the insurance, the fuel. You want to actually drive the thing around regularly, and it's like, oh, okay. This starts to make a bit less sense now. Places like America, that must be a lot cheaper, though. A, because a lot more cars do have bigger engines out there, but B, because you see, like, I feel like Mustangs wouldn't have anywhere near as bad of a reputation as they have if Americans couldn't get hold of them so easily at such young ages. Gas is basically free in the US. Okay, I'm just hovering here. This is really annoying. I'm like there or thereabouts with them in terms of pace. But like I just don't have enough to close up. Oh, they're gonna start fighting, no. It's my time to catch. Good luck not getting deported, yeah. Oh, the big slide's not gonna help me. Yeah, it's 3 temps down the drain. Soon to be 4. Oh, Nico's real wide. Mattia fighting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, earlier in the year, obviously, I went on the whole sort of... I looked at a lot of things. In terms of, you know, car ownership and the realities of owning some of these vehicles. I mean, I'm still figuring out the realities of owning a 90s Rust box, but at least this 90s Rust box is cheap to run. So, and it's damn good fun. What a bike can't have fun with. Fair enough. I'm kind of disillusioned on the kind of modern car scene. I don't really care. Like, I intend to keep my car pretty much stock, like factory spec, which is what it is currently. And if I'm gonna buy aftermarket replacements, they're gonna be there or thereabouts. The only thing, if I was to buy, like, things that weren't factory spec, I'd buy them for practical reasons. Like, I might buy different sized wheels for the sole fact that I could get better tire sizes. My car's wheels are tiny, so... they, I could only get, like, economy car tires for them over here. Which isn't ideal. Well, I mean, they're fine. Like, premium economy tires are fine. But, like... because the car weighs nothing and it doesn't have much power. Cars peaked 20 years ago. Polymer and Pretzel, yeah. I mean, when I was sort of saying about the modern sort of car culture, it's kind of more like the community surrounding cars rather than the cars themselves. I'm not a big fan of newer cars. I don't like a lot of the new technology and stuff that is like modern cars are completely befuddled with, and how unnecessarily complicated they are. But yeah, I'm also not a big fan of like the wider community. There's like a car meet that goes on like near me every week, but it's just like a bunch of yobs ruining their cars in a car park. So it's like, no. My car can stay at home. Say no to glue. Oh, yeah, he's gone off. Unlucky. We are in the thick of it though now. Oh, Miko's a bit sideways. Yeah, that is one thing I do like about my car. You know, it is dummy simple. It has just the basics you need and nothing else. Which is basically just power windows and air conditioning. That's it. That's all I have. No traction control, no anti-lock brakes, no power steering. Maybe wouldn't mind ABS, but like a USB port in mind though. Aha, you see. Oh, because of it sideways. I've gotten around that. Because obviously it's an old car, so it's got a cigarette lighter. And I conveniently actually had this in my old car. Because that also had a cigarette lighter. Despite being like a late 2000s car. I would have thought they would have gotten rid of those by then, but I guess not. Yeah, I had a USB adapter for the like cigarette socket, so I just put that in. There you go, bam, 2 USB ports. So I actually make use of the cigarette lighter that I otherwise wouldn't. Oh shit, I fucked this up. Looks like it's going to be between me and Yari till the end. I think they're still going to break away now. I think Yari's maybe a bit of a cork in the bottle. Mine is the Lancer, the boring kind. I guess the Jeopardy still smoked a lot in mid-2000s. Probably. I mean, yeah, my first car, and the car I had up until earlier this year, was a first-generation Citroen C1. And that had a lighter in it still. Didn't really have... I don't know what the ashtray was. It had a lot of random pockets. I assume one of those would have been the ashtray. It's not like the Suzuki. The Suzuki's got like a little... the actual like ashtray that you can like pull out and whatnot. But I guess, yeah, French, they probably would have been smoking a lot as well, even back then, so... Yeah, they still smoke along it. Ooh, that was close to the gravel. Luckily, the sort of curvature of the road caught me. I've overshot this. Oh no, I'm good. Miko's losing it big time. I didn't get a good run through there though either. Oh, Mattia's come wide. And Yari's sliding. Everyone's getting it wrong. I think last time I checked it was 25% compared to 5% in Sweden. Damn. That's quite a big difference. I do find it funny, though, that in some regards, on paper, my new car is actually a downgrade from the old one. It's got a smaller engine. It technically makes less horsepower. Albeit, I don't believe that one bit. Has less seats. It has air conditioning, so that's actually a benefit. But it doesn't have central locking. Has less storage space, like less boot less storage space in general. But all in all, it is a significantly better car. Don't think I'm gonna get him. No. Sucks. Was a bit more eventful than I was initially expecting. And Mateo just absolutely checked out. Crazy stuff. Get that replay up though. Mateo going for that second RBR seat. Well, it'll be sorely disappointed. Rubbish, that all things considered. Okay into turn 1, but I eventually nearly went up into Matthias' chuff here. He braked way earlier than I was expecting. You would like to click on that icon. It doesn't tell me what it is. Whatever. Oh, Mateo is now listed as number 2. I want that second seat so much. Yeah, congrats. You were in a field of your own there. Yeah, Phil just got it absolutely wrong. Just whoop. Oh, you went a bit too much throttle. It's meant to be like some chat rank or something. I really don't know what this number is. Oh, blurred out Porsche. Psychedelic, I guess. It's meant to make people spend money on super chats, but none of you have. I don't have super chats, so unless you super chatted elsewhere. If so, I ask, where is my share? No, I can't even have them on. No? Okay. Yeah, I don't know then. I'm guessing maybe it's... my best guess is it's some kind of chat rank based on how much activity, based on last week. I don't know. It's weird that it started now, though, of all times, but... Yeah, most active fans in chat, yeah. Activity and super chats add to that rank, yeah. But it seemed like it was kind of stagnant up here for a bit. I was kind of hovering in the wings a bit of these guys. Mateo was checking out and Phil was struggling. You see, we're close, but never quite close enough to make much happen. Again, that's it from me. Oh. The CS skins ain't cheap. Well, I'd say investing in me is better than a CS skin. I care about you more than Valve does. What will I use that money for? Absolutely nothing, probably. But do I increase in value? Depends. Technically, my net worth is increasing. If you give me money, my net worth increases, so I'd say yes. Even if it's only like a penny. I really started going on at Yari now. And this is the part where things started kicking off. Which allowed me to catch right up. Yeah, see, they got side by side for that, and that cost them a shitload of time. Believe it or not, this channel actually has made me some money. I mean, I'm pretty certain I've told this story a few times before, but back in the old days, that makes sense. I have my bank queue penguin saying oh, yeah, he went proper deep, maybe a bit too deep there. Little bonk. Tries to go for the switcheroo, doesn't really get it. That brought me right up into this, which is nice. But yeah, back in the day, obviously, like nowadays, right? YouTube has like a more stringent criteria on what would allow you to get money on YouTube, like the requirements. But like back in like 2015, 2016, literally all you needed was 500 channel views. That was it. 500 channel views. And that's really not hard to get. If you even get a little bit of traction, you should be able to get that, like, pretty easily within, yeah. Especially for someone like me who'd been doing it for, I'd been pumping out low quality rubbish for like about a couple of years at that point. I had enough. Oh, what happened to Phil? He spin. He did. I got too wide there. I hit the curb, got wide, and then lost it. Unfortunate. But yeah, so I was able to... for a brief period of time, I was able to have monetization on this channel back then, in like 2016 or so. And Kid Me was like, this is it. It's my moment. I'm gonna make it big. Spoiler alert, I didn't. They eventually changed the rules as well. To first the 10,000, you needed 10,000 channel views at least. Then they changed it to the more like robust system that there is today, where you need like subscribers, like concurrent watch time and stuff like that. That's more effort to get. Obviously because, oh, he goes up the inside there. Ooh, and they, oh no, that's tragic. Wondered how Yara had gotten out of there, but it was, he hadn't really done anything wrong there. Miko just got it. Did he squeeze him too much? Maybe? No, Miko just got it wrong on the curb. Bunched him off. I don't know if he got the cars mixed up, maybe, because he seems to let Mattia through. And then just gets back on it. I don't know. Put me up in the mix, though. But yeah. Obviously, because the requirements were so low back then, it was just like flat view count numbers. Obviously, it was really easy to just make a channel. Oh, he went deep there. It was really easy to just make a channel where you just uploaded, like, other people's content. Whether that be, like, you know, movies, TV shows, advertisements, whatever. You know, other people's YouTube videos, whatever, you know. You could very easily start making money off of that. And obviously, not a great look for YouTube. Having people profiting off of constantly making new accounts by it and uploading like the same like movies, TV shows, or whatever again and again and again. And so that's why they changed it. But yeah, for that brief period of time, I made a whopping, it was like £1.07. Crazy money. But that's £1.07 more than basically any other channel of my size has made. So, I'll take it. Problem is, it's just sat in limbo. It's been sat in limbo for like the past, like, basically 10 years now. So you need like... You need like £10 at least to withdraw from AdSense. And I have no way of adding more money. I don't think there's any way I can add more money to that account to then be able to withdraw it. I haven't even checked it in years, so I don't know if that money is still even there. Maybe that's something we can check after this, I don't know. What happened to Yari? He got big sideways towards the end. And Miko got all over the place. Oh yeah, just get too aggressive on the braking and turning. In 1,000 years, it'll be worth a bit more. It'll be worth even less. Unless our economy completely collapses. £1.07 is suddenly worth a lot. Otherwise, with inflation, it's just gonna keep losing value. Get the old results up quickly, though, for the race. Dollar will crash, don't you worry. That's a good point. I'll be waiting for the day I can finally withdraw my money. We'll get you an island over there. Oh, I just noticed it comes up on the stream as well. Huh. I am just passing like a sort of like a CSS layer over the chat. SRS results. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So Matteo, dominant win. Only driver to clock a 47. Crazy impressive stuff. Then Mattia third, Miko fourth, myself fourth, Yari fifth, and Phil in sixth. Pretty close on the lap times though. 48.0, 48.0, 48.1, 48.3, and a 48.1. And even then, Mattia wasn't that much quicker, but it was quicker enough to allow him to pull away. But yeah, we kind of spread out in those early couple of laps. So while our best lap times were close, consistently it was a bit more mixed. But that wasn't terrible anyways. Consistent fourth place finishes, so... Matteo's currently dominating. 2 wins out of 2. Then Mattia and Yari, and then myself. Making up the rest of the places. And Phil, obviously. So they decided to ban and let Mattia run away, yeah. I don't know. They might have had more speed. Mattia, well, actually no, because they kind of spread out. I think Miko didn't really have the confidence in the car, because he was making quite a few mistakes here and there. I don't quite think he was on top of the car as much as he maybe would have wanted to have been. And Mattia, even when he broke away, because he broke away from the group, that you would have expected low fuel, so he would have started setting the lap times alight, but he didn't really. I think they would have been closer, yeah, but I still think he would have won. I don't quite think they had the speed to make it happen. Because otherwise I feel like that would have been reflected more on the lap times. I'm losing the cars. Oh, you're right. Okay. Ford. Top common data. Practice time for the longer race now. Let's see how this goes. Trying to keep my head on with all this heat though is gonna be fun. To say the least. Where were we at last time? Quarter mile, right? It would have been listed as. Brain. What's the other name for the track? Track has other names. I can't think of what it is. You know, actually, I guess if I load last, maybe that. Oh, I'll go por mal for. There you go, fine. Cool. See how this drives. Actually, don't know. We'll find out. Sure, I quite have the same confidence here to maybe go for the alternate strategy, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe somebody else will. I think this is a shorter pit lane, at the very least. I don't know about the fuel and tire wear yet, though. Need to get a couple of laps under our belt. Setup seems pretty stable around here, though. Maybe do a little bit more front end. Much better. Grip now. Fuck. It forgets to tell. I always forget how well these cars handle. But it seems to be pretty good out of the box, to be honest. Maybe do have a couple little tweaks here and there, but I feel I'm pretty comfortable in it. Please shrink the gear ratios. I don't need all the speed. See, I cut track, so that's not going to count. I am hoping, of course it's going to depend on the tracks and how people feel, but I am definitely hoping that we are going to see some more, I don't know, I keep cutting, so good. I'm hoping at some point this season at least we get to see a little bit more strategy hijinks. If there isn't, then maybe I'll dangle a little carrot. Try and encourage some bold choices, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't really want it to just be everyone doing conserve fest every race. That's really good. Might be actually one of the best feeling cars I've raced around here. Just kind of go where you want it to, and it really tackles those corners quite nicely. Still kind of feeling out what the limits are, of course, but happy in general. Oh, that front tire like burnt to a crisp. Put that by PSI, I guess. Maybe by put a full tank of fuel in. We'll see what kind of numbers we get. I think once those tires come in, actually, everything else is fine. Maybe we could try a little bit more diff. See what that does for us. I gotta shrink this down. I'll try 153. 43 minutes on a full tank at full pelt. Supposedly. Should have done the race at Avis, it would have been much closer racing. Not wrong. Only 5 laps. Cayman that will hit the red. But definitely will hit the red of the tires before the end. wonder though if this is a track maybe where a more aggressively set up car could hold maybe more of an advantage for these high-speed corners. Guess we'll see as we come around. Even Stevens down the straight. So we need to get that pickup on the front, really heating up that front tire. Bit of a wobble there. .9 compared to a 32.1. See much I can compare on this next lap. You know, I always wonder if we should try it again. I feel like I could drive this car a lot. Gotta think about, like, relativity, of course. I mean, even pushing on a full tank, I'm losing about almost like 8/10 a second a lap on myself. And, you know, if we were to run like this, I'd have to save. Where's the time even? Okay. Maybe try the pit stop. That's all the way back there. It's bad if that is the case. Yeah, much shorter pit length. Okay. Pit lane length we don't really have to worry about. Let me quickly look at a practice session though. You know, I'm tempted. It might be the wrong decision again, but I think it'd be the more fun one. Again. Oh, we at like 39. Just. Get a timer up on the phone. Stopwatch. Okay. Fuel is largely irrelevant. It's mainly on the tires. Okay, so it's a 10-second tire change. Double down on the first shots, you know? I think I will. I think we're gonna do it. That was race 1. Kind of meh. There was a bit of action towards the end, but it was a little bit lackluster overall, I'd say, for me at least. See, Fred snitched. You can always rely on Fred to snitch. That's for sure. How much fuel did I have last week? 39. Okay, so I do have the numbers right. I think the 7. Cool. Get out of here. Is it even worth changing tires though? Yes. If I trim back on the fuel as well, right? So being like, say, changing tires gives me a 10-second window, right? Which means that you can cut back 10 seconds worth of fuel in the car and then put those 10 seconds back into the car, basically. It have worked out is about 15 liters. So. Got to say, I was the only one not to spin in the SRS race. Damn. Yeah, I missed that, unfortunately. I was thinking about taking part, but it was so hot. I mean, it's really hot tonight as well, though. It's a shame, though, because it looked like it could have been fun. Slow poking his way to a P2. Hey, well, if it works, it works. Tortoise and the hare. Sweaty sim racers, yeah. Very sweaty indeed. Oh shit. I've made a bit of a mistake recently, though, as my friends have coached me back into GTA Online after a number of years. Surprisingly, though, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. As long as you, like, stick to playing with friends, that is. I don't really have any interest in messing around with the public. The general populace that's still running around. Buying shark cards? Hell no, never. My friends are assholes, so I'm not sure would be an upgrade over the general public. Oh my god. At least they're your friends, though? That's some consolation, I guess. I'd rather a friend, like, grief me than some random 12-year-old kid. Because at least then, I have more avenues as to where I can get them back. I bet they must be if they're assholes by your standards. It's a good point. It's a very good point. They play Steam. Oh yeah, they play Counter-Strike, so there you go. Not a Ruskies in the dudes. The CS players are worse than iRacers. Oh, easily. Easily. Can't hear the enemy team though. Yeah, it probably is a good thing. 12 liters. Let's go. About 94% track condition at the moment. Crikey. What is this channel chat royalty? It seems so. Oh, with Dolly joining in, actually, Fred has been bumped down to number 3. Oh, demoted. Who's number 1 now, though? Wait. Fred is number 1 and 3? I'm so confused. And Loop apparently, yeah, you don't even have a rank. Maybe it's only for the spanners, who knows? Actually, no, Mateo's not a spanner, and he had one. So who knows? Keep copying more things from Twitch. Well, as long as they don't start copying their like content rulings from Twitch, then we're good. Italian brides to get the top, probably. YouTube copy Twitch high bitrate. That'd be nice. But if they suddenly say, oh, you capped to 100 hours of content, then, the kick we go. Gonna need to bank on this lap being good, but if my prediction, or if my calculations from earlier are to be believed, I think regardless of where I qualify, I think my strategy will probably work better for me anyways. As well, I will have to take, like, I don't know, let's say like a 15 to 18 second penalty at some point, effectively. We'll be running like 25, 30 laps, somewhere in that regard. And if I'm able to pull like a second a lap on myself running this strategy, then that means it's gonna be the better strategy for me regardless. I think. Are you going rabbit again? I think so. From the... It could be the fact that my brain is just gone in this heat. But the way I'm looking at the numbers, I think at least for me, it'll work. Like, I think the overall... I feel like I'd gain more time doing this than I would by trying to save. So I'm also not the best at conserving, so... I've never really... I don't think I've ever really shied away from that, so... Oh, I fucked that. Damn it. P-winding Donnie's crashes is the best. Yeah, whether or not other people choose to follow is down to them. I don't hold any liability if my strategy is in fact inferior. But now King number 3, I took the power. Has Fred been demoted off the top spot then? Seems like he has, actually. I see his name doesn't have any damn YouTube. You know, I'm on provisional pole at the moment, which actually is what makes this a top car. You see, it handles good. Top handling. I don't know. It has a top, yeah, tin top, yeah. Top, and it's a car. Sorry, was praising Twitch, yeah. Banish this man. I find that bewildering, though. I don't know if you heard about that. The guy that got banned for, because, like, Twitch allows multi-streaming, right? But they have a rule in place that basically says that Twitch must get the best experience. And that they consider basically even just interacting with people on another platform as degrading of the Twitch experience. So technically speaking, when you're running a Twitch live stream, Twitch only allows you to interact with Twitch chat. That was terrible through there. Understeer like fuck on the way in, and oversteer like fuck on the exit. But they never really enforced that, right? Yeah, you can't grab chat boxes and merge them together, yeah. Sit down, peasant. Crikey. Competitive much, eh? But yeah, they, yeah, so neither of those things were allowed, but they never really enforced it until they banned this one guy. It was like a one-day ban, but the statement was made. But, like with a lot of moves Twitch has been making recently, instead of being like, instead of making people heed to the ruling, people just said, Lamau Twitch, you fucking suck. What a Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's just qualifying though, so not too bad. Oh, wait, this is gonna fuck me for this lap. I'm gonna, like, you know what? I do something a little bit cheeky, and I am just gonna park the car here for a bit. Let these tires cool off. Got a bit of a gap for ourselves as well. Cool. Here we go. Thanks for the reactions, I guess. Even though I spun and then sat still. I like the numbers. Yeah. Yeah, it's better through there. Online group chat is lame, yeah. But that's the thing, right? Is that according to... I don't really engage with Twitch much. But apparently they hadn't really been enforcing the rule, right? Because people were doing it all over the place. But all of a sudden, on this one specific guy, they decided, you know what? Now's the time we're actually going to enforce this, and we're going to ban him. I don't know if they banned other people as well. But, no. One guy was all they needed. And then he spoke up and was like...
Skins unavailable. Carry on.
Okay. Getting this slap all kinds of wrong. And he spoke up, he's like, Lamau, Twitch sucks. Yeah, it failed big time. Basically every move Twitch has made recently has failed, I think. I don't think there's really... I think they've really been scoring many wins lately. They have just been taking consistent L's. Which is a shame for people who rely on the platform more. Because they're now having to seek alternatives. Alright, start in P3. Could be worse. Could be better as well, but could be worse. I'm actually I'm gonna go 37 liters on the fuel. Leave the diff power, I think. What can I change? I want a little bit more rear from the car, but I want more. I don't want to ruin the stability. Yeah, I can take some of the diff coast away, actually. I don't think we can get by without that. Just be reacted, so I started pumping it to get ClubSport. Didn't work yet. Does number one get to collect taxes? What taxes? You think there's money involved in this? I wish. Yeah, I'm just gonna gamble it with that setup and see what happens. We are locked in. Johnny with the emote reactions, probably the kind of guy that takes selfies in headstock. 40% on my earnings. Well, my earnings at the moment are 0. And 40% of 0 doesn't really work. But well, I guess we're same plan as last time. I'm gonna try and get into clean air and push for laps. If a car is in front of me, they need to be faster. Ideally, though, I want to take the lead. Try and run away. Just sort of like I will need it. Just checked it a second. Just sending over go behind Tony last night. Oh, it's a long race. Yeah, it's a long race. That's why we had all the talks about pit stops and whatnot. Technically, you don't need to pit. We are on 1 times fuel and tire wear, and there is no mandatory pit stop. But running the numbers, I kind of guessed that running a pit stop probably would be better for me. What other people are doing, I don't know. But I did sort of run a proto of that strategy last week. And it was highly recommended to Ferrari strategy for the lols, yeah. Exactly. However, it seems like these guys are pushing a bit more this time. Either that or I'm just slow. So who knows, maybe they're following me on the strategy. Oh, it's a big flight there. That wasn't good. Woo! God. It's a nasty snap. But yeah, if you want to run this no stop, some degree of saving is in play. But I am running it with a stop, so we don't have to worry about saving. This argument on the radio last week said it was gas banter. Went to stay on these tires, box, yeah. Ferrari pit will never fails to amaze. Chip into Turkish Airlines after this season. Larry worry about his place to please help clean. Trying to find his way through. Give the eye a bit of the old slipstream. Feel sore cry get to Vettel's hairline, yeah. Checking out a little bit. It's good. Miko has moved up into second. Gonna make my hair fall off what's left at least, and I'm not even driving. Yeah. Maybe they should get anti-balding sort of like sponsors. Be like old Mark Martin in the Viagra car in NASCAR. Perfect marketing. These guys are staying pretty close, though. So maybe, who knows, they're running the same... Either I am blocked and just slow, or they're all running the same strategy. I seem to have a better race car, at least, than whatever Yari's got, though. So I was pulling on him quite nicely. But Miko is hunting me down. The others aren't terribly far behind. Not breaking away from the field like I did last week, so we'll have to see. Maybe the fuel saver this time. Wish she would have the better spec car. They're all the same. But it's cleaner will help me a bit. Equal cars, yeah. Oh, that wasn't great. Privilege to not let him go to waste. Exactly. Oh, I think we did like an identical lap time there. Yeah, the pace of the grid does seem to be a lot closer this week, so I'm gonna guess there's two scenarios at play right now. I am fucked is one, or two, everyone else is mimicking the strategy. We won't know till, like, I pit, I guess, or until people start jumping for the pits. He's gonna try and go for it. Far enough alongside, though. Alongside at all. Everyone on the Ferrari strat. I mean, if the Ferrari strat is actually quicker, then I guess it's not the Ferrari strat. Billy Hanks on SRS yesterday, hence no spins. It's like way close at the moment. Getting too much speed for there. But yeah, they are running like worryingly close lap times. So yeah, the scenario really is they're either on the same strategy as me, or I'm fucked. If I'm fucked though, I would have been fucked either way, so I'm not too bothered, I guess. Just gonna see how it plays out. Tried a flappy paddle clutch launch, it was pretty good. Oh, Miko got a bit loosey-goosey. They're all getting a bit of turbulence there. Done, so we're good. That felt like a bit of hack. Yeah, expensive gear, cheap. Pay to win, confirmed. So, go back up. That wrong. I've got like 33 minutes. Jesus. I do wonder that if Mattia maybe is on the fuel saving strats, at least. He did mention about it, but who knows? Just block and leave. I'm gonna have to. Spico is faster. He just set the fastest lap of the race, so I'm not quite sure. Push that before pit. It'd be really early to pit now, though. Way too early. Oh, if he can go one lap longer, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like if you're changing tires, you're kind of restricted. Unless he's not going to change tires, then that would be an interesting play. But seeing the advantage I had last week on the guys who didn't pit, I'm not quite sure. I think if you're gonna pit, I feel like you almost have to change tires. It's kind of the no-brainer. I don't think it really works otherwise. I've overcooked this. It's very not good. Very, very not good. You have a pot grid up behind me though, we're good. If I can hang on to this lead, that will be interesting. These guys are on a pit stop strategy. They might opt to pit earlier, try and get out of the mess that is my dirty air. So we'll see. You'd be a fool not to try, but given that I still have the lead. And I'm just going to take this as long as I can go. Should be to like the... probably for another 15 minutes or so. At most. I was hanging on okay at the minute, though. We don't have to worry too much. Wasn't ideal, but not the end of the world either. Really nailed the exit here, though. Didn't. Ooh, I lost the rear. Ooh. God. That was nearly very bad. Oh, but Taylor's losing it behind. Run on the exit, come on. Ooh, God. Bit of a touch. Damn it. Just didn't quite have the grip under me that I wanted. Oh. I don't know what happened there. I think Yari might have binned it. Drama's unfolding right now. Chaos. I'm surprised I held on to that for as long as I did, though. My focus has been all over the place. I think he's gonna break away now, though. He's just too quick. Probably AC contact physics, yeah. I really had to try and push for the, to hold in there. But I just couldn't get the grip I needed. So... at least I didn't kill him in the contact, and I kept going, so it's still not too bad. Mattia's moved up to third, though. Race has been blown wide open. He's not getting away terribly quickly, but he is getting away. Oh, as I lock up big time. Yeah, I'm nearly 20 minutes into this. Okay. Seems to be a bit of a cork in the bottle, but might as well select repairs to right. Should be fast, but it's so little. I don't even know if it's worth it, though. I don't think I have any damage. Mattia's got a big run. Let's see. I do have a little bit of damage. I don't think it's enough to worry about, though. I don't want to risk it actually turning out it being longer. He's like right in my blind spot. And the tail locked up big time. He's off in the gravel. blinking a little bit now. I'm gonna keep Mattia in my dirty air though, we should be good. I think we are all on the same strategy. Oh, Miko's getting that mega sideways. Oh, so is Mattia. That works for me. He's out of my slipstream range. Okay. I'm gonna say we're gonna go till about 18 minutes, I think, maybe. And pit there. Then about the 20-minute mark, the tires start to fall off, it seems. At least based on this opening stint, so... We'll see how the car progresses, though, over these next few minutes. Does seem like Yari did jump in the pits, and I think Matteo, too. So they're definitely pitting, which is a good sign. Seems like Ferrari strats are the strats this week. Shocking, yeah. I think, like I said, I think just the speed difference. Like you could see, I was losing like 8 tenths a lap just against myself. So like, it was kind of a no-brainer. You can carry just so much more speed. It's a very fast, flowy track. There isn't a lot of, like, big stoppers. Miko's diving for the pits. Villa's up into third. But he's choosing the pit as well. Pit this lap. Nah, I think I'm gonna leverage the clean air as much as I can, I think. Clean air is good. Clean air plus tire delta. And the longer I can keep Mattia holed up in my dirty air, the better. So... But the risk is that when I pit, obviously, I could come out into dirty air, so... No clean air in this polluted world, that's true. Yeah, over 1 minute 30 though, Jesus Christ. That is crazy. I didn't see what my lap time was last time out, but I'm driving to the best I can, so... It might jump you if you stay out. Maybe. fuck it, I guess we'll dive in. Oh. Like clockwork. Those two are actually fighting each other back there, which works quite nicely. So be a little careful on this opening first corner. Go. Good. Didn't lose that much time relative to Miko in the grand scheme of things. Expecting his spec to be a lot smaller. Now it's going to be seeing where I come out relative to Mattia. So I've got to try and put my foot down this lap, because no doubt he's going to be in this next lap. Unless he somehow managed to save enough fuel to make it to the end. I somewhat doubt that, but we'll see. We'll see. I think he was running too quick for that anyways, though. But I think if anyone could do it, it's him. Okay, has dispatched Yari though. But obviously that trip to the gravel did cost him. Minutes left on the clock. Thankfully, it does feel like it's been cooling down a little bit as we've been going through this stream. So, hoping tonight is going to be cooler, but it's still pretty hot. But it was less hot than when I started. No! Bugger. That's fucked me now. I'm ruined. I knew that could have happened at like any moment. Arrgh. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare through here, I think. Oh, yeah. Shit. I just put my bins out of that collection as you did yours, yeah. I kind of felt it was going to happen for a while. I'm surprised it took as long as it did. Oh, yellow flag up ahead though. Somebody else. Yeah, I thought I might have just about been able to have kept it on, but no. I think though I might have a chance of catching up to Yari and taking him before the end though. I think we should be at least faster than him. I was faster than him in the opening leg. I'm hoping that's still going to carry on. I was actually slower than him that lap. That being said, I did lose a shitload of time out of the final corner and through these opening couple of corners, just trying to get the tire temps back down. So that's one thing you do kind of have to manage in this car a bit, is getting those tire temps back down. However, Mattia and Phil seem to be... They're either taking their stop... They're running their stop out as long as possible, or they're not pitting. And if they've been able to run that speed without pitting, they might just blindsided everyone, to be honest. We'll see, though. Main goal right now, I think, is just to try and catch Yari. So that's a tenable goal, at least. 12 minutes still to go. Don't really have any front end. Drink down the straight. I was thinking about maybe trialing running a setup where I do start the race on full fuel, but have the backup available, like sort of push really hard and then see what happens. And either fall back into fuel saving or go into the stop, but I looked to put him full tank in here, and I kind of just felt that, like, I just didn't really have the handling on a full tank. I handled like shit. Extra, like, 20 liters or so. Just shifted the balance far enough away from where I wanted it to be. Make it feel really kind of dead on the front end. Picked up speed a bit there. Now, looking at what it's saying my numbers are, I am actually thinking that a no-stop could have been possible. With reasonable push, actually. Which is kind of crazy. Because it's telling... So I started on 37, I put 15 in the stop, which would put me at 52, right? And if we run to what it's predicting at the moment, it's telling me I'm 1.9 liters over. Which means that you really wouldn't have to save that much, actually. Which he probably could have covered up in those opening few laps. Whether or not the question is though now is will the tire delta, what difference will the tire delta make? So I seem to only be getting slower. So I guess I am at least like 2/3 of the grid Ferrari stratted this time. So I'll take that. We still don't know though. There's 8 minutes left, so it's all to play for. Not fully sure for me. I think I need Phil to pit at this point. I think I flaked off too much. I just don't have the gusto in it. I'm not sure. I'm trying. This just doesn't really seem to be working. Which is a shame, because we had a really good opening stint. But one mistake was all it took to pretty much throw it all in the bin. I probably would have sunk a bit, even if I didn't bin it, but at least would stuck less. Oh no. That's just rubbing salt in the wounds now, I guess. Launch truck, Ferrari's jet launch truck kind of driving, yeah. Yeah. I think I let the heat get to me too much. Just can't really... My focus has just kind of been dwindling all race. Tina hasn't pit, 6 minutes to go. Could still come in and pit, but I think he might be making this one. Oh, that tire hasn't cooled down yet. It's nearly death. Well, at least I was... the first stint was fun, at least. You can take some solace in that. Just bring it home now. Oh my god, that tire does not want to cool down. Should have a bucket of water near you for the pit stop here. Oh, okay. It's good I don't have a camera on though, because I have... Probably should have done that sooner, but I have ejected the t-shirt. Need that weight saving. It's gonna make all the difference. I really just need more cooling though. I don't know if I've ever had it before, where even just pressing down on the pedals, like the pedal faces themselves, are actually just hot. At least the last time, I think, when I streamed in like a lot of heat. It was a couple of years ago when I'd caught the old coronavirus. And we all know the old... I seem to get a buff in my driving abilities whenever I'm sick. So that counteracted the heat. I don't know why that happens though. It's a funny pattern that I've noticed over the years. Every time I don't feel well, I turn the live stream on a Tuesday, and I do pretty well for myself. It's time to catch some chronic disease, then beat Max Verstappen. Don't know if that would really be worth it, though. Yeah, it's Phil. I think Phil might have ducked him for his stop, though. Either that or he's been swallowed by the field. But I've just lost too much time. See on the replay, though, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty certain by now Mattia is not pitting. He's made the no-stop work, unless he runs out of fuel, and we'll see. I think I know my game plan. It depends on the track, really, but I think I do have a good idea for my game plan next week, though. We'll see how that pans out. See if I remember next week. There's every chance that I just don't remember. Let's drop to 4th. One minute. I don't know if this will be the last lap or not. Got the head. Alright, cheers, Donnie. Hopefully next week it'll be a bit cooler and I can... I'm not busy. I'll actually be able to give those Porsches a shot. Last 20 seconds. Will Mattia cross the line? He does. One more lap after this. The tires have gone yellow, or are starting to go yellow, but I think that's mainly because I spun twice and had to deal with the heated up tires afterwards, which would have taken a lot out of them compared to normal. So I think actually, had I not have spun, I would have still been in the green come the end. At the tip end of the green, but still in the green. Or at the very least, we'd be coming to this state now out of the final corner. It does seem like he's got the win wrapped up. Unless he runs out of fuel. Props to him, though. I guess the others were let down the same thinking as me. I am hoping that it isn't going to mean the rest of the season is just going to be fuel safe, fuel safe, fuel safe, fuel safe. but we'll see, I guess. So I think I surprised everyone a bit last week, maybe, with the strategy. And then people thought, oh, this week we'll try it with a shorter pit stop. Feel expensive even in AC, yeah. But now Batia has gone and done the opposite of everyone else this time, and he's actually made it work. So I'm hoping that isn't going to lead everyone next race to be like, oh, let's just save. But we'll see. Gutted. That was interesting though. Play up though. Got off to an alright start. But yeah, that first stint was very intense, yeah. It's good fun, though. I'm gutted that I flaked off real hard in the second stint. I think the heat just got to me too much. My brain was like, nuh-uh. But Mattia pulling a blinder on everyone. I was thinking at the start that maybe those two were going to be on a no-stopper. Given that they'd, I mean, it was really hard to tell at the beginning as to what strategy everyone was on. Because I still got to the lead. But then I wasn't pulling away, and I was like, okay. I'm guessing the others are actually, are trying the pit. And I saw Mattia and Phil were hanging back a bit, and I was like, so you missed your pit spot, so you lost in seconds. Oh, it's unlucky. A big old bit of dirty air there. Nice old snap. I was surprised how early the pit box was, though. So I'm guessing that's probably why you missed it, because yours was probably even earlier than mine. Oh my god, I put my hand on the wheelbase and it's like... Ow. That's hot. Poor old Logitech. Didn't go out of line though, Sap. Even with me fumbling like an idiot. It's an absolute trooper. You can see these two are kind of they're hanging in there, but they are sort of lingering more towards the back. Not really as in the fight as everyone else is. I think they're here. Yeah, I just got a great run on Yari. So I stuck my nose up the inside and really opened the door and I just sped my way through, nice and easy. Low fuel, fresh tires, or lower fuel, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much fuel he was running. Track's always good fun to race on, though. Does open itself up quite nicely. It's also pretty fun to drive, so it's a double win. Wasn't planning to pit, but the tires didn't feel too good after your spin. Ah. Fair enough. I have to see what happened there. I didn't really... I felt a thud and then I saw you vanish, but I don't really know... I don't really know what happened exactly. Not that it mattered too much to me in the end. 2 bozo spins in the final stint. After I led quite a few laps. Just jump back. You hear? I was thinking, okay, maybe like everyone else isn't gonna pit again. So I was like, okay, I'm in the lead. I'm breaking away a bit. Doesn't quite feel like enough, but yeah, we're only like lap 3 or so. 3 or 4. Yeah, Miko got clear. I think Mateo doesn't take too much longer to get through. Yeah, Miko started catching me, and that was when I was like, uh-oh. Yeah. I'm either royally screwed, or other people are pitting. Okay, would have been passed quicker if he didn't. There you go. I guess he gets it done here. Yeah, nice and easy under slipstream. And up the inside. Tia tries something similar towards the back. Doesn't quite work though. This first stint was good fun though. It's quite scrappy, but you know, even though it's a longer race, I don't want it to just be people sat managing for 45 minutes. That's the last thing I want. I mean, that can be a viable strategy. And I mean, it has prevailed to win both races so far, but, you know. I think here, though, maybe he could have gotten away with pushing a bit more harder than I'd thought. On the no stop. It did seem like I had enough... Seemed like if I had started on a full tank, I might have had enough fuel to have made it. But it's hard to say with my 2 big spins how much that played into my fuel consumption. He could have tried it here, but he didn't quite get it. Went a little deep. Yeah, but he was holding on to the group really well. The fact that he wasn't going to pit. And I was kind of just cork bottling. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of cork bottling the rest of the grid, so... I was happy to let everyone else sit in my dirty air for as long as possible. So that was only going to help me. Retroactively, it probably helped Mattia as well. I don't know how close the lead group would have gotten. Why is it here? Oh, yeah. You got lucky here. I messed this up big time. I got the braking all wrong. You can see I just get on the brakes and the rear end breaks loose. Oh, we have a lightest of touches, but I get the car back under control. Theo loses it somehow as well. Not really sure. I guess. Rear just breaks away on him. That was... Need to challenge him. I know I could still fight on the outside here, so I go for it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna push. I was pushing really hard, and then I broke traction here. Just pushing too hard. Just kind of threw me off the road. Obviously left me mega vulnerable here. I should have covered the inside, but by the time I really realized it was too late. Good old AC collision physics, eh? Even though like you touch the car on mine. Maybe some funny hitboxes, but that really shouldn't have been a spin. That is a tough break. I mess up and gain 2 places. Was that here? Or... Oh, right, yeah, you go deep. Yeah, I see now. Yeah, oh, big lock. Nearly went off the road. And yeah, Yari spins, Mateo loses traction. Through you go. It is good, though. I was initially planning to run until you pit, and then pit myself. I don't know how long that would have lasted. Because, yeah, it was, eventually Fred coerced me. It was like, you know, if you don't pit now, you'll probably lose to Mateo. I maybe would have gone 1 lap. I was planning to go 1 lap longer, but if I was dedicated to waiting for you to pit, I don't know what would have happened. As well, obviously, as we know, you didn't. Oh. Big Takuma bugger. I've just seen that now. Mama Convoy Toyota. I'm missing... Keeps failing to grab the other liveries, which is a shame, because yeah, there's obviously Mateo and Miko's that I don't seem to have. I didn't get around to making my own for this series. Or season, so... Yeah, Yari was the first to blink, I guess. Straight in. Yeah, spinning in this car is quite punishing, though, as I would find out later. I mean, I already knew, but it'll become even more apparent later. For me, you see, it does take a while for these tires to cool down. And, like, especially with a track that consists of a lot of high-speed corners, it ruins the tires. I think, had I not have spun, I probably would have still had green tires at the end. But I crossed into, like, the yellow threshold. I'm not sure on the percentages. But it started to fall off on grip towards the end. More than they should have. I guess Miko was the next car to pit, I think. And if he'd seen... He stayed up for another lap. Can't remember when he jumps into the box. Oh, Matteo is the next one to box, actually. See how does Matteo misses. Oh, he's in reverse there. Yeah, the pit boxes are really early here. I got really lucky with mine, actually. Mine was pretty much perfectly placed. Oh, yeah, he hit that bump and just locked all four wheels up. And that fired him past his box. Great recovery drive, though, because I think he still finished, like... In terms of the pit strategy, I think he was, like, second at the pit strategy. So... pretty solid recovery, all things considered. I don't know what the gaps were at the end. Actually, yeah, they got past Phil. I don't know if Phil pit or not, though. I'll have to see. I'm gonna sort of say he didn't. But, then Miko jumps in. That's the two of us up the front. I was happy to lead a few more laps in clean air. And if you were going to pit, hopefully slow you down a bit more. And if you weren't going to pit, slow you down a bit more anyways. Matteo and... Matteo and Yari basically on top of each other. I think those two were fighting when I came out of the pits, actually. It seems like they were fighting already at this point. So it might have been the lap when I came in, though. I'm not sure. I think it took it... Oh, here we go. Yeah, here I come in. Yeah, look at mine. I get the lock, but I pit box right there. So pretty much perfect. I did miss Matteo going to the gravel, actually. Yeah, he got a nice run on Yari out of here. Yeah, Matteo had a couple of mistakes to set him back. He went on the gravel and he missed his pit box. I think because they got Phil, I think I would be third overall then. So that's not too bad. Surprised how close I was to Miko, but little did I know that was about where my race would... But the good part of my race would end, and it would be downhill from here. Brakes are a bit too strong. Yeah, maybe. I think the worst thing with the brakes, though, is sometimes I get a bit of rear locking. Like, sometimes the rear just breaks out on me under braking, and I get a bit of rear locking, and then I shit my pants. But I think here I was just a bit too... Yeah, just went a bit too deep into this corner. And I was hoping I could ride it out, but I was trying to lightly turn the car back onto the track, but it just didn't want to, and then it goes. Set gamma to 1.5 to avoid lockups. I don't really have much problem with locking up, to be honest, in this car. If I do, it's on me. I think the way my brakes are configured, at least, I think works relatively well for this car. But yeah, that was the first spin. And I decided one wasn't enough, so... Is it here? Oh, here we go. Yep. Round we go again. That was basically my race over. Let's see. Yeah, Matteo spread out a bit. There's Phil. Phil was plodding along at the no stop. Miko caught him. I'm guessing that he's caught him. The tire delta was just too much. Probably. Because I found at Portimao, the tire delta was pretty significant. I was pulling in quite a lot of time on them at the end. Yeah, Phil's just got no grip. And that allows Miko through. T3 name means Satan's smile. Oh. Did notice that before. What was the first corner called? I think the first corner is just called Madness, isn't it? Is this the track where it's called Madness? No. Oh, Baba Yaga. No. Yeah, it was a different track. Technically, turn 2 doesn't even have a name. It seems. Turn 3. If there's 4. Half these corners don't have names. Slackers. Maybe I guess some kind of witch / hag. I see. Let's see though. How close did it get? It's Phil eventually got caught by, I think, Yari and Matteo. At least Matteo. Goes Matteo through. Nice and easily down the straight. I think one was chicken. Unless I misread. There you can see just that pace delta. He's sliding all over the place, but he's pulling away still. I've known a few Baba Yagas now. That was pretty close at the end, though. Relatively speaking. Looking at the two different strategies. I wonder if maybe like a little bit extra tire wear would help. Would help though, to make the pit strategy more viable. I mean, we'll have to see throughout the races as we go on, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I do hope we end up with more races like these. I hope we do continue to get split strategies, and it's not just me being a dumbass. Because yeah, it makes racing a bit more fun. I've never really been one for conservative racing. I don't mind. I don't mind conservative racing as such, but I've never been one to want it all the time. Nor do I want to be one to force it. Which is probably the biggest gripe I have against Formula E. Because they love to force their battery mileage finishes. Oh. Okay, pretty chaotic results graph. We actually had, what's that? 4 different leaders, I think? Yari led the first few laps. I led the good chunk up until I lost to Miko. Then he pit, I led an extra lap, and then Mattia led to the end. So yeah, 4 different leaders. That might actually be the most we've had in an SRS race for quite some time. I don't even think on the ovals we got that many where we were like chopping and changing positions like mad. There was generally someone holding the fort and everyone else was squabbling at them. Admittedly, pit stops do help. Miko likely would have held on to it. Had he not have. Maybe not, actually. You never know. It's hard to say. Could have still happened. Of course, then Mattia takes the win by, what's that? 7 seconds? That's pretty close, all things considered. That's closer than last time, definitely. I think it helped by the pit stop being shorter. But I also feel like this week the savers had to do less saving, so it's an interesting mix. But obviously, I was the only one last week on the non-saving strategy, so who knows what a faster driver would have done. You know, had Miko been there last week and did the same. Could he have done better? Probably. Who knows? Be Miko 2nd, Matteo 3rd, Phil 4th, Yari 5th, and myself in 6th. Everyone on the lead lap, at least. Lap times 31, 30, 30, 32, 31, 31. It's a bit of a spread. But that's to be expected with different strategies. Longer races and different strategies at play. Consistency definitely is more important than just being fast over one lap. But yeah. Bit of a mess to untangle here. Everyone sort of jumped all over the place. Biggest loser, easily myself. Started 3rd, finished 6th, led. Was the 2nd biggest leader of the race. And just completely flaked off in the second half. Biggest winner would have to be Mattia. Obviously, blinds, coming from dead last and then blindsiding everyone with the fuel saving strategy to win. How does that look for the championship? Oh, Mattia is dominating currently. 2 for 2. Autodrom Most next week, which will be an interesting one to see how that plays into things. Matteo in 2nd. Yari 3rd, Phil 4th, myself 5th, and Miko, obviously, best of the single round people. Yeah, participation, I need to save 0.04 per lap. Yeah, I saw at the end I had 2 liters free of fuel. And, well, I ran 52 liters of fuel in that race, really. So, I think, yeah, fuel-wise, you really didn't need to save a lot. If much at all. I mean, yeah, 0.04 per lap is basically nothing. Tiny little lift here and there, and that would do it. Of course, the tire delta was still at play, but of course, it wasn't enough. Just upshifted slightly earlier. And yeah, basically, you really didn't need to do much. I think my driving alone probably would have, you know, just naturally being a bit slower, probably would have done enough to save the fuel. needed. But, yeah, will be interesting though. See how this pans out. I think Master's a relatively short pit lane as well. Maybe has a really long front straight, so maybe not. I don't think it'll be as long as Portimao though, so maybe. We'll see. I'll probably still be stupid anyways. There was something I wanted to look at though. I can't remember what that was. I have noticed though that I think I haven't really been able to attend the Monday races. Okay, yeah, I think attendance has dipped off a bit recently. But I think that's pretty natural because it's the summer months. I know for me at least it's fucking hot at the moment. So I didn't race last night, to be honest, but it's my own races tonight, so yeah, I didn't wanna miss those. And yeah, I guess yeah, it's hot for one, and for two, I guess people are probably on holiday. Different places at this time of year. So it will be interesting to see how the numbers continue throughout the season. Yeah, I think we might be in a... We're starting to get slightly bigger grids, but I think that might be a bit of a... more of a slump at the moment. Longer races do seem to be working pretty well, though. We're only 2 in, but I've enjoyed both of them so far. And there's a lot more things we can play around with different cars, tracks, multipliers and stuff. Because, I mean, at the moment, we're not running any multipliers, not running mandatory pit or anything. Ideally, in these longer races, I do want to keep strategy options open, though. So, I think I'm only ever going to force a mandatory pit window if... I don't think I am. I don't think I will. If I will do it quote-unquote organically through, like, the car just running out of fuel or needing tires. For, like, and if it won't naturally, then maybe through, like, modifiers and such. I think that'd be more interesting than, having to deal with an arbitrary pit window. Yeah, 1 liter pit stops are lame. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is like you can literally just pit stop for 1 liter, and what's the point at that point? You just pitting to tick off a box. Yeah. I don't think next series will be a long race. I might, like, stagger them. But we'll see. We'll see. It's still very early doors into this season, so we'll see how things pan out. But yeah. Yeah, there's the 2 big things I definitely do want to avoid in if we are to do longer races. And one is obviously, yeah, the 1 liter pit stops. They're pointless. Want to actually, you know, if people are going to pit, it's because they can actually get an advantage by pitting. And on the flip side, I want to avoid races where we are just, like, massively fuel saving the whole time. Because, like, say, like, a pit stop is, like, just out of the question. I do have a funny race idea that does involve a shitload of fuel saving, but that's a completely different thing for a completely different time, and it'd only be a one-off. Yeah, like, having overtly processional races. At least one thing I have noticed in AC, I haven't really noticed any cars in AC with, like, I don't really know how to describe it. I guess, like, glass tires. It's probably the easiest way. The main sim I play outside of AC at the moment is R Factor 2, because I do some, like, club or, like, community races on a Thursday with the guys over at SCB. Haven't these past couple of weeks, but for various reasons, but it's usually good fun. But a couple of the cars we have driven over there have some absolutely awful tires. And it's like, it wouldn't surprise me, because I have heard some real drivers complain about cars being similar. But like, I have driven some cars there where you have to baby them. If you like consider sliding the rear tires, you lose like all the grip. You just like shed off like 10% of the tire life, and it's like, okay, well, I'm dead now. I know the 992 Cup and the V8 supercars were like that, or Gen 3 V8 supercars. Those were awful, because you basically spent the whole time just babying the tires. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to push. Oh, I pushed, and now my tires are gone. Fuck. I think it got so bad in the supercars, we just gentlemen's ruled the pit stop, because it was more fun that way. The AC, I don't think I've ever really experienced out of a car. I've experienced tires, like, overheating. I know when we did the, like, when James did those Civics. Was it James, or was that just an hourly series? I don't remember. I remember having decent pace in those Civics, but I'm shit in front-wheel drive, so I, like, burnt the tire. I was quick over one lap, but over the race I just burnt the tires to the ground. And then, well, suddenly the car could no longer turn, and that was me done. But yeah. I think for now, though, that's all I really have. Because I am just waffling at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to grab myself a nice cold drink, because my bottle of water is pretty warm now. And yeah, hope you all have a good evening. Thanks to those who came out and chatted. Thanks to those who came out and raced. Next week should be pretty interesting. Hopefully it's cooler. We got Laguna Seca on Monday. Then Silverstone International for the Porsches, and Autodrome Must in the top cars. So hope to see you there. But for now, adios.